Hey everyone, it's Veronica and welcome back to my channel. I am sorry that I haven't uploaded in a while, but there's been a lot of things going on in my personal life. I recently moved and the majority of my books are now in storage. That's why you don't see them behind me. But I do have books here next to me that I will be talking about today in a couple of videos. I'm going to be filming videos about BookCon 2020, Book Expo, my magical readathon that I did, my summer reads, my March, April, and May TBRs. So stick around and I hope you enjoy the videos. So this is actually going to be my March TBR video, and I only got to read 2 books this month, Stalking Jack the Ripper and The Beautiful. Stalking Jack the Ripper, I really wasn't too sure if I would like this because I don't usually like to read thrillers, but this is from the James Patterson Presents series, and it is by Carrie Maniscalco, and it's the first book in a series, and I'm really interested in definitely getting a hold of the rest of the books. But Stalking Jack the Ripper is about a young girl named Audrey Rose, and she wants to be pretty much like Abby on NCIS, a crime pathologist, and she loves science. And back in Victorian England, that was extremely taboo. Women did not even have jobs back then. It was very frowned upon. Only the men could work. Women had to stay home and take care of children, but Audrey does not believe in that way of thinking. She is a very independent young woman, and her uncle, Dr. Jonathan Wadsworth, agrees to let her sneak into his classes, and he teaches her all about pretty much how to do autopsies and how to properly take care of the body for burials. But in this case, Jack the Ripper, or someone who is pretending to be Jack the Ripper, is going around London killing different people. The real myth about Jack the Ripper is that he went around killing prostitutes and no one understood why. But in this, Audrey and a fellow classmate, Thomas, team up together to solve the mystery of who keeps killing these women, and for no apparent reason. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately. But all the clues point to her uncle as being a possible suspect, as Jack the Ripper. He gets arrested and sent to an asylum, and they start giving him different drugs to convince him that he is Jack the Ripper. And Audrey goes out of her way to prove her uncle is innocent. Now, I will give you guys a spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear the spoiler, skip ahead. I will put a timestamp down in the description below where you can skip ahead to for the next book. But the spoiler alert is, it's not her uncle. It actually is Audrey's brother. And he escapes London and goes to the next location, which continues in the second book, which I believe is Hunting Prince Dracula. I will definitely put that book down below. I will link it in the description for you guys. But I did find this at Barnes & Noble, and it was very interesting. Like I said, I ended up getting into it within the first chapter. I had no problem understanding it, and it really was a great read. For those of you who like James Patterson, you might like this. For those of you who love thrillers, I have heard nothing but great comments on Goodreads and from other booktubers and on Bookstagram. The next book that I read this month was The Beautiful by Renee Adia. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I'm sorry if it's wrong. But this story is set in New Orleans in 1872, and it is about, the main character's name is Celine, and she comes over from Paris, France, escaping her past and wanting a clean slate in the new world. She killed a man who was trying to rape her in Paris. She used to work in a dress shop, and she came over on the ship with 6 other girls who were coming to the local convent in New Orleans to find husbands, find good families. And Celine, as much as she doesn't want to, she knows she has to save her reputation. Well, her and 2 of her friends come across paths with Sebastian and his associates, and it's not what you would call a normal meet and greet for the 2 main characters of the story. Sebastian has a past, and he seems very dark and shady in the beginning when you first meet him, and he and Celine do not hit it off. Well, I should say Celine doesn't like him. Sebastian is interested because she is strongful and willful and determined no matter what to achieve her goal. And throughout their association, you come to find out that the nightlife of New Orleans is not as safe as it seems to be. Girls are being murdered by some unknown creature. Come to find out, it's actually a vampire attacking the girls at night, and it's all over New Orleans. It's not just near the convent or near the docks. But Sebastian and his friends hang out at their own club that Sebastian's uncle actually owns the building. And that's the one place where they can go where they're safe and they can hang out together and not be persecuted by the police or by the rest of the citizens in New Orleans. And unfortunately, one of the girls that came over on the ship with Celine is murdered by this vampire, and now he's actually targeting Celine. So the adventure that her and Sebastian go on to find out who the killer is and also protect Celine, and trying not to fall in love with Sebastian, who turns out to actually be one of the vampires. It kind of reminded me of the Librarian film with Noah Wiley, where the last film was when they were actually in New Orleans. It kind of reminds me of that vibe and that storyline. I really did enjoy it, and I just found out this morning that the sequel to this, called The Damned, it was just released, and you can actually get it ordered online via Amazon and also through Barnes & Noble.